Hello, kids. My name's Lee, and your teacher contacted me to see if I would share some information about some fossils. So, Oakley's here with me today, and she wanted to learn a little bit about fossils, didn't you, Oakley? And I told Oakley I didn't know quite as much about fossils as my grandfather because he's the one that put this collection together. But I would try to remember some of the things my mother told me about what she had learned from him. But my memory's not fresh about the details, so forgive me for not being extremely well versed in my subject matter here. So, a common form of fossil that is found is called a crinoid, and that's represented by these tubes that kind of have cylindrical shape and sectionals. So that is a crinoid, and I've got several examples of that. Here's a really big one. This right here is the fossil, and what that was a creature that lived in the ocean millions of years ago, and it got covered with sediment, and the minerals and stuff formed a fossil in place of the actual animal that was there. And sometimes the actual animal was fossilized, and sometimes an imprint of the inside of the animal's left. Say, this right here is the inside of a mollusk, and that's the outside shell of a mollusk. So you've got both types of fossils, the inside and the outside. And that's the same here. That is the inside part of like a clam that was around millions of years ago. That's the same thing with this. But even just plants and animals get turned into fossils if they're buried and the right conditions exist. That's a piece of wood, and it's very easy to tell that that was probably like a sap layer. You can see that in pine trees these days. If you cut it open, you'll see what they call kindling, and that's the sap that burns real easy. But there's also the type of fossils that leave impressions. That is some sort of plant, and I don't know how you determine, this is like some sort of muddy looking rock, and he knew to crack it open to find that. So I'm amazed that he knew how to find these, because I sure wouldn't know. There's a fern. Same type of thing, an impression was made in the sediment around it. Now this is really hard to see, but if you look close, that's a fish. I don't know if you can see that. That's what it is. This big shell looking thing is actually called an ammonite, Ammonite, and it is a lot like a cuttlefish. I think it's a mollusk, or it was a mollusk, and it was mobile. It could actually expel water and move around. So that's interesting. This right here doesn't look like much, but it was actually a very rare find. In fact, a collector told him he should glue this back on because he cut it to see what was inside. And this is such a rare fossil that he glued it back on, but it's a fossilized palm root. And so this would have been the root of a palm tree that existed back probably before or during the time of the dinosaurs. So it's very old, but it's a very well preserved root of a tree. And you guys, this is one of the most common types of fossils, shark teeth, that you find. You can find regular shark teeth that aren't fossilized, but this is a fossil. It probably came from something the size of a megalodon, much bigger than a great white shark. This would be a very big great white shark compared to that. So I found this actually down near Morehead City when I was a kid, probably about 12 years old. It was so fun to find. You can tell that that's rock, but still has kind of a texture of the outside still intact. So that was fun to find. Now another thing that you kids will probably read about or hear about are trilobites. They were pretty common creatures in the ocean and left a lot of fossils behind. There's one that's been taken out of the matrix. Matrix is just another word for the rock that it's in. And most of these fossils are going to be in a sedimentary rock. And what that is clay or biologic matter that gets compressed and layered until it becomes hard and turns into softer type of rock. This is something similar to prehistoric horse, I believe, that I remember. We wouldn't probably recognize it as a horse today, except that it was big and it ate grass and whatever else it could find. There's what the inside of this root would probably look like. That's fossilized palm wood. It's a very distinctive look. All those little pores right there. Here's something that's similar to a sea urchin. I think that's called an echonoid. But there's a smaller version of the same thing. You can see it got like a starfish design on top, but this was actually more like a sea urchin. And here is what a fossilized sand dollar looks like. So sand dollars haven't changed that much over millions of years, because that's exactly what you would find today of one that's not fossilized on the seashore, if you're lucky. And that's a fossilized mollusk shell, probably something similar to a clam. But this was probably mined out of a pit down near the coastline. They call them coquina pits. And it's a lot of little shells that have been mashed together and make kind of a rock. This is another big piece of crinoids, and I don't know if there's anything else other than that in here, but you can see that there's a lot of remnants of those crinoids in this. It's a very heavy rock. And some of these fossils, and I think this may be one that's like that, they can be found on top of mountains. And the reason that's possible is due to plate tectonics, where the crust of the earth gets moved, and what's down in the ocean over millions of years can end up being compressed into a mountain that goes up above the ocean, and therefore you can find the fossil remains on mountains sometimes. There's another nice specimen of a crinoid. I believe that's what that's called. And here's another one with a mollusk. But remember, these are millions of years old. So that's what makes these special, is how old they are. I'm not even sure what this is. Maybe you guys can tell me what it is. But I know it is a fossil. I can just tell by looking at it. So I don't know if that helps you guys out with your class, but look right here. What is that? Look. I'm showing Oakley what these fossils look like, because she's never seen one. Oakley, what's this one right here? Come here. What's that fossil there? She says that's a giant shark's tooth. What's this one? Can you tell? She said it tastes like an ammonite. She's pretty good at this. So kids, I hope you enjoyed this little session. Again, I'm not an expert, so Mrs. Grande, I'm sure, can answer a lot of questions. You need to ask her, because she loves questions, just like her mother. And kids, be good. Do what she says. Say hi to the kids, Oakley. Later, bye.